30 days ago, I challenged him to generate 30K in 30 days or he had to shave his head bald.
What I lacked was just the right person by my side.
But the truth of the matter is, nothing works until you do. You can give someone the perfect car, they're still gonna total it and crash the car if they don't have the skill set to drive.
I'll be like, oh, crying, like 2 months no sales, 1 year no sales. I burnt all the bridges knowing that I can't get back to the same river and swim backwards. 2 weeks went by, nothing happened.
If it wasn't for someone that has 1,000 followers like yourself, wouldn't have been able to go out there.
Once I had this goal, everything literally changed.
How much have you generated total in the online space so far?
Since we started working with you in April, it's been around almost over.
Today I have a very, very special guest with me. The reason that this client interview is very special, this is my client Vadym, and 30 days ago, I challenged him to generate 30K in 30 days or he had to shave his head bald. That's why I've got a golden razor in my hand, because this would have been used on you, Vadym. So, Vadym, thank you so much for joining me today, bro. Appreciate you.
My pleasure. More than glad to be here.
Absolutely, bro. Good to have you here, man. So, let's talk a little bit about your journey, man, because, bro, what you've done is absolutely nothing short of incredible. You've hit 30K in 30 days. And not a lot of people do that. And not a lot of people would have, still had hair in this situation. So, let's talk about how you kept the hair on your head, generated 30K in 30 days, and continue to keep scaling. By the way, very quickly for the viewers, introduce yourself, man.
For sure. So just a few words about myself, if you were to ask me, let me ask you, just to share a couple of childhood stories, just about, to talk more about the entrepreneurship journey, to connect all the dots. What do you feel, what a 16-year-old boy wants more than anything?
Cars, money,
girls, actually. So the thing is that I wanted, most of all, the age of 16 was to escape the home as soon as possible, and that really kept me that was always I had this thought of entrepreneurship, new journey, new things, and that's when I left home. I went to another country to study there, on the educational journey. And this way long journey for the entrepreneurship, it started a long time ago. I mean, this all the way to 30K. If I were to imagine at the age of 16 to make 30K at the age of 21, I'll go bold back then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but when I went to another country, I actually became some kind of an overcomer really early. I got used to changing different societies, learning new languages. Right now I'm Bulgaria, and that is my third immigration by the age of 21. So that's why making 30K is the easiest thing I ever done in my life. But all the rest, yeah. So this entrepreneurship seed, it was a long time ago. Even thanks to Corona, thanks all the world conflicts, world shit going on, I always utilize it for the best purposes. And that's how I started all the journey, back to down to business, down to the clients and all the work.
Yeah. And that's incredible, man. I remember even the first time we spoke, you mentioned that, you're Ukrainian, right? And, you immigrated from Ukraine to 3 different countries by 21, bro. Most people don't even leave their home country or their parents' house, but you've been traveling all around the freaking world by such a young age, and you picked up on some incredible skills. You've had the natural desire from young to go out there and absolutely crush it, man, which I got massive respect for. So what do you do, bro? What's your offer?
Yeah, so actually I do random stuff. That's how I make money. Yeah, in short, I'm I started once I was in Germany, so February 2024, just scrolled on the internet. Yeah, just again, no special story basically. Found affiliate and digital marketing, and thought why not to start this? Why not to give it a go? Because back then in Corona, I also had some kind of opportunities, to just have the video. I had my first YouTube channel at the age of 14. Back then, everybody wanted to go to the States, not right now. I know everybody's going to Dubai, so it's all different.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that started basically in February 2024. I came to Germany, I was totally lost. I mean, I just had a simple choice to go to the college, became this guy, study, get the best grades possible. But in the end, I thought why not to just try and see what these online guys do? Especially I had this experience before. And I bumped into one of the programs on affiliate and digital marketing, and I thought okay, hell yeah, let's just try this out. If that fails, I mean, I'm fine. I borrowed the money from my mom actually. If the money goes in, I just gotta make it back.
Yeah.
This way. But yeah, in the end, it was pretty serious. And after just 2 weeks of posting content, just in short about for our viewers, what digital marketing is, you just create a social media page, you post content, you have the offer, any kind of product, digital or physical, and you just sell it. Okay,
Hmm.
like tomatoes in the market, but tomatoes like in the online world where nobody sees these tomatoes. So two
Yeah.
weeks went by, nothing happened. I just posted content, stayed consistent, like was happy with like 5 views with 100 views, like a
Yeah.
kid, getting the candy from the parents. 2 weeks passed by. I we had a chat with you, and back then,
Yeah.
if I remember clearly, you were also like at the stage of moving to Dubai at that
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I was like contacted by one of your teammates back then, by Mo, and he reached out like just asking really powerful questions, really having the conversation. Then like just to give it a go. I was always open for new opportunities because that was not my money, it was my mom's money.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, was in a call with you with Mo. So the whole world was open for me. I mean, I just realized like the biggest change and the biggest reason for the challenges I had back then of just like posting content, in short, doing the same thing as everybody else did. In the end, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter like, what kind of business model it is, like drop shipping, like Amazon
Yeah.
FBA, crypto, whatever. If you do the same stuff like most people do, you're never gonna get better. Never gonna get, to this top 0.01%. And that's what I really wanted in the end. I mean, I just didn't want to waste my time. Otherwise, I was like, telling myself like, okay, let's just go
Mm.
straight to college. Once I had this call, everything like literally changed. 1 month, 2 months, got the first sales, got the first results. I used the power of the so-called free testimonial, like free work. Once you're not the go-to expert yet, you still gotta use all the possible like free tools you have. And that's what I
Yeah.
started doing from that moment like forward. The summer came by, all the way to creating my own offer last April, like in April 2025. Again, going back to you, like after all the family struggles, the health issues I had as well. So a lot of things happened, but anyway, I'm back on track. And that's been for nearly 4 or 5 months of like hitting 30K per month, of moving to a new country from Germany to Bulgaria, about to take my family here, but I feel totally fine living by myself without my family.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
gonna take. Yeah, that's in short, if I answered your question.
Definitely, man. That's incredible. So, yeah, man. Like even me, I started in the dropshipping space, jumped from offer to offer, different digital marketing offers, and kind of just doing the same thing that most people do. Most people just post a bunch of content online, wait for
Mhm.
clients to fall out of the sky, and just wish and hope that that's going to work, right? But you and I both know like that's not the strategy that actually gets you clients. So, my other question, bro, is like, how much have you generated total in the online space so far?
You mean nerves, money? Yeah, in
Money
terms
for
of money.
sure.
So overall, like I would say like since we started working with you in April, if I'm not mistaken, since April 15, it's been like around like almost over 50K, I would say in general, like overall, or a bit more. I'm not so much like a number guy. I'm more
Yeah.
like, the input guy, but I would say around 50K overall so far.
Definitely, man. So you generated 50K cash collected in that space. That's fucking incredible, bro. Well done. And what would you say, like, most people in your shoes, bro, that are in that situation where they're just posting content, guessing, figuring, testing things out. Maybe they've invested into things in the past which haven't worked, right?
Hmm.
When you came across, working with me, and obviously the price was not cheap. You paid like $15,000 to work with me and stuff like that, which again, massive respect to you, bro. Most 21-year-olds don't do that, right? First and foremost, why did you do it? Like when most people think like, oh, I shouldn't do that, it's too much money, blah blah blah. What kind of compelled you to want to make that decision?
What really motivated me back then, just to pull the trigger to actually do this, was number one, confidence. I mean, yeah, that's our viewers can say like that's everybody has confidence, right? At the end of the day, by far not everybody. And the confidence is like the foundation of everything. I mean, if Burj Khalifa doesn't have confidence, he wouldn't like even stand, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, what really like motivated me most of all was like confidence that it's gonna definitely work, and not this, but I'm gonna make it work in any regard.
Mhm.
Because back then I started, I knew my previous experience that a lot of people when jumping into the mentorship, into the coaching, they feel like right now I just don't have to do any work. The work is gonna be
Mhm.
done, right? Like I just pay the
Yeah.
money gonna do all the work. Right now, like I'm just on chill mode right now. I have to relax. And I was like really confident, like A, in that's I'm gonna make it work, and B, I was confident in your skills. Because in the
Mhm.
end, what I felt I lacked is mainly like I would say in percent, I had this like 80% of hunger, of desire to build the right skill set in the digital world, to sell, to work with clients, to get my delivery in the best, to the best possible level. So what I lacked was just the right person by my side. And that's what I found you, what I decided really to pull the trigger and to go all in. So the investment was like It was just like I would say secondary back then. Because if I was not sure that I would make it back, in this case, yeah, I would doubt myself 100%, but I didn't. And it all worked out well. So it all comes down just to confidence and to your hunger that a lot of people don't have. You're a big fan of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson once said actually that somebody asked him like Mike, do you feel like your son, he's a boxer as well, like do you feel he's gonna become like the great boxer just like you've become? He said like hell no, for sure. Like why would he become? Like he studies in a private school, he's like flying on private jets, he's just living the
Yeah.
life, like totally
Yeah.
fulfilled with everything. And those
Mhm.
who become the best sportsmen in the world, right? They're always with the best, with the most hunger, and those who come from trenches, from favelas, from the poverty, who want to prove something. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
coming from poverty. I'm not coming like I'm coming from like a middle-aged family, but I had this hunger and I had this confidence that I'll make it work.
And I got massive respect for you, bro, because I agree with what you said. Because, bro, there's so many people, and for the viewers watching this, like, so many people walk into like a mentorship program thinking that it's the magic tool to fix a lot of problems. But the truth of the matter is, nothing works until you do. You can give someone the perfect car. You can give someone a Ferrari. They're still going to total it and crash the car if they don't have the skill set to drive, right? So you can give an idiot like something good, but they don't know how to make it work, right? So that's one
Yeah.
thing I respect about you, and I feel like that's why I'm very selective of who I work with as clients, because it's down to the person to also implement. Even me, bro, I've spent so much money on coaching programs, masterminds, mentorships. I'd walk out of those same coaching mastermind mentorships, and I'll have learned something, and I'll have made an extra 20 to 30K just from the information that I learned. Someone else will walk out of that and be like, oh, it wasn't that great. It didn't work, right? Two same people had the same experience, but walked out with completely different outcomes just based off their input, right? So one other thing that I wanted to ask you, bro, is like, what would you say like really separated this? You said you were looking for the right person. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot smarter people than me in this space, in the industry. What gave you the confidence to know, A, I'm working with the right person? And what was it about the process, like once we started working together, that made you feel like, you know what, I'm in the right place and I'm going to get results early on?
What really made me feel that I'm in the right, like in the right game, in the right process was again, like besides this confidence, was again this the same hunger, the same like knowing that again, it's like a gut feeling. I mean, I'm kind of like there's like some sort of like definition in psychology about heads that's called like seven heads of De Bono, and like one of the heads is like the red one, the emotional. I'm this head. I mean, I usually enjoy like over analyzing things, but in the end, I'm still
Mhm.
like this emotional head. And in the end, I just trusted my gut feeling. I mean,
Mhm.
it's never like no surprise here, just because I thought that, yeah, I'm gonna make it work out. And I really believed into this because I had just no way out. I mean, I burnt all the bridges knowing that like I can't like get back to the same river and swim backwards. I just have to move forward and just to make it work. Yeah, despite all the skepticism from my mom, from my granny, from like close people, but I actually just like I never was a fan of, like, of listening to friends and listening to the
Mhm.
family as well. Yeah, but in the end, yeah, listening to the gut feeling, knowing that it would really help me out, in the end it did. And right now, just all about the spins, all about like training and putting as much volume as possible, and just get into the next milestones, and never to pull the foot out of the gas, because that is the main mistake of most people.
Yeah.
Oh, just money. Now chill, now relax. Like it's not for me right now. The hard work, the grind, like I've just done it, I completed this. No, I'm just in the beginning of my road. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm really thankful to that experience of pulling the trigger, deciding to work with you, deciding to build the skill set, and eventually it brought all the dots together.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I think that's another massive one that holds so many people back from succeeding. It's like they let the opinions of other people who aren't where they want to be influence their decision making process, and then 6 months from there, they wonder why they're still stuck in the same place, right? Like your mom, you could love her to bits, but she's not. She doesn't have your dream business. She doesn't have your dream income level. So if you take advice from someone that isn't where you want to be, even if you love them very, very much, it's never going to impact you in the way that you want to be impacted to get the type of results that you want. So another
For
question I
sure.
wanted to ask, bro, is a lot of people say like cold DM is dead, right? But that's one of the core strategies that we actually started with, right?
I would even
And
tell you, just excuse me for a short interruption. I would say like people who say cold DMs are dead, those people are dead online, you know? They're like so invisibly, yeah, they can say whatever they want, but in the end, people who actually tried them, who knocked on all the doors, like Hormozy once said, like knock on all the doors, especially once you're starting out, they'll never say the cold DMs are dead. So that's just another myth.
Yeah, man, definitely. And the craziest part is using, if it wasn't for cold DMs, someone that has 1,000 followers like yourself wouldn't have been able to go out there and generate 50K cash in such a short space of time. So I think most creators or most business owners that have small followings look at that as a disadvantage. Like throughout our coaching program, what was it that made you realize, hang on a sec, like this isn't a disadvantage, I can actually use it to my advantage?
From the very beginning, I would say, yeah, I was distracted just for some time, I would say, to a couple of offers like, set the AI offer, like make the machines work for you. Like I said, I already make the machine work for me. That's my laptop. I mean, that's enough for me for now.
Yeah.
All the rest was just, yeah, I was distracted a bit just to other offers like, you know, go completely off the cold DMs. Like not just get the team, right, that I have right now, but go to like full on content, make this, just rely on something one. And I realized to myself, like the key insights that I guess a lot of our viewers can also get from this, like learn, is that, yeah, you should have the focus. That's number one, except for the hunger, except for the self-confidence, 100%. But except for this, you should have the focus on something one. In my case, that's like my business, but to have different approaches and making
Hmm.
sure that if I stick to one approach, I do like I've just finished. I make it till the end. Right now, people give up until like for just after a couple of months. For Thomas
Yeah.
Edison to create the light bulb, he created like 10,000 attempts, and probably even more.
Yeah.
Right now, people are like, oh, crying like 2 months no sales, 1 year no
Yeah.
sales. Like hell, that's business. I mean, what do you
Yeah.
expect more from this for sure?
Yeah.
That's why cold DMs like number one, they are never dead. All the strategies like which are kind of outdated, they're not so much outdated. It's just about tweaks and small details. It's like, a person who's making diamonds, or
Mhm.
surgeon. It's always about the details, they're like 1 inch changes, 1 inch
Mhm.
like differences in the mentorship, taking the right person, taking the right skill set, having the hunger, and just barreling down like a truck, on the highway till the end, till you actually meet it. You made it. So that was the biggest
Definitely.
difference in my journey.
100%, man. And I think like whether it's ads, whether it's organic, whether it's content, the truth is, bro, like all of them work. There's none of them that don't work.
Yeah.
When most people aren't able to make one of them work, it's they're not able to make it work. The thing works, they just don't know how to make it work. And that's why it's so important to really, like, whether it's me or whether it's someone else, get someone experienced that knows how to do that thing and learn from them on how to make it work. Because there's always one small thing, like you said, when you're crafting diamonds, it's a 1 inch difference or one slight little difference that creates the perfect shape, right? And I think that's what so many people are missing out on, perspective. And so many people wait 12 months, 24 months to try and figure out on their own when there are people that can literally give you the information. I think Alex Hormozy says this, which is very important. But if you make 100K a year and you want to get to a million a year, it costs you 900K a year not to know that information. You can easily go out there and pay someone 50K and get all the information that you need that's going to fill that gap, right? But I think so many people let fear and hesitation get the better of them. So I think confidence is important, like you said. I think
For
one of my
sure.
last questions for you, bro, is
I just want to add about like this the confidence like thing that like what Hormozy said. That is like one of my most beloved questions I usually ask on the call as well to people like, if you had this ABC struggle, right? If you struggled, you've been stuck at this journey like because of this and that. So how much has it cost you like so far, to be where you are at? And then
Mhm.
I make a short pause. And in most cases, like even people like who are the most skeptical and all this like type A plus personality, like, oh, I don't care about this, right? It's impossible. Like if that didn't happen, that shouldn't have happened. But in most cases, people think they feel like, oh, that's really cost too much. I mean, too much that I can't even name the number. I mean, I tried to, drag this number from them, like from a tiger's like mouth, right? But it was just impossible. I mean, they just couldn't say the number because it was like so freaking big. And there are people like
Yeah.
at the age of 30, 40, like 50. In the end, like, yeah, they might be young, like from a perspective, as you said, right? Depending on that. But in the end, they just lost so much. And by far not about money. I mean, the time that people don't realize how really valuable it is. I mean, 1 year
Mm.
right now is about like that. And that is the most important thing to realize. 100%.
100%, bro. I think that's so true. And quick fire questions. We'll do a little quick fire round to kind of wrap
Yeah,
this up.
cool.
I think one of the first things I want to ask you is, A, what would you say is like the most valuable skill sets that you've acquired now through working together that you feel like are invaluable skill sets that will pay you for the rest of your life?
Communication and the clarity of messaging when it comes to content and to talking to people.
Definitely. And I would say for someone that's in your shoes, right? They're stuck. They're just posting content. They're unable to predictably get clients online. I mean, you sign like 3 to 5 high ticket clients a week very consistently, right? And they're on the fence about getting a coach or getting a mentor or getting the right help, or they're afraid to invest into themselves. What advice would you give them, having been someone that was in that same situation a few months back?
Like a famous phrase from a Fast Furious movie, if you watch this, like ride or die.
What about family?
Ride or die, exactly. So yeah, either take the right mentorship, invest into yourself, invest into the skill set, or go the so-called proven path. I mean, there is nothing bad about this, right? Go to college, like study, get a job. I mean, there is nothing bad about this. I respect those people. But in the end, just make a choice. I mean, 3 words, make a choice. That's all.
Definitely, man. Sweet. Vadym, thank you so much for attending the client interview. It's sick to have you here. I'm sure this is going to be one of many, bro. We've got a lot of results to talk about now that you've hit 50K cash, on the road to 6 figures. You're coming to the Dubai Mastermind later this year.
We can do
By the way,
a deal. Suggest you also a deal. Like if by the next year I don't hit 50 million, I'm gonna go bold 100%.
I got my clippers right here. But do you know what? Last question I want to ask you is, it's not a question, it's more of an insight. I would say like so many people get burnt through investing that they fear investing. But when somebody has a really good experience with investing, they will tend to invest more into themselves. So by the cost of inaction with investing into yourself, and that decision based off not wanting to invest because you've had previous bad experiences, caps your growth. Because I've personally invested into like crappy courses, mentorships, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't say they were crappy. Like I just probably wasn't the best person to implement it at the time. And as a result, it held me back from investing into myself for a period of time. That period of time slowed my growth down massively. The more I invest into the correct people, the more positive outcomes that I have, the more I want to invest. And that's exactly what you've done, bro, because you've invested into working together. You've got an incredible result. You will continue to print, I'm sure. I'm going to hold you to it. Otherwise, you're going to go bold. And now you've invested more money into coming into the Dubai Mastermind, which, let me ask you, like, how are you feeling about that? Why did you take the decision at 21 years old when you've now started to make money to decide, I'm going to fly halfway across the world, fly out to Dubai, go meet a bunch of strangers that I've never met that make a lot of money and learn from them?
So the number one thing motivated me actually, like, our last time I was in Dubai was in 2014 at the age of 10. So that was, more to travel. But actually, I would say that's the second reason. The number one is because, again, it's not a risk. The risk is to be right now in the trenches and to go to war. Like a lot of my friends are in Ukraine. That's a risk. A risk is to, eat like shit, not train, and then like become old and, die from a disease. That's a risk. In the end, invest into yourself, learn a skill set, go into the mastermind, which is, I wouldn't say proven to work. It's like hyper proven to work and hyper proven to get the result. It's not a risk. I mean, people right now are so confused. I mean, with the hard work, like what is the actual hard work and what is the actual hard on life? Hard on life is like me knowing that for the 16 years of my life, I've just been studying with the same guys, same like gangsters, with myself. But right now, they're in the trenches, going to war, like fighting there, or people with diseases. That's what's hard. Invest into yourself, building a skill set, it's never hard. And that's why I'm so much pissed off. I just, barely hold myself on the calls when people say like it's hard something, But yeah, the one thing like for the end, just to wrap this up, is like I never regret about investments. Any decision is always for the best. And the one question, like one insight for the viewers, I would just ask, like I would just tell you, once it comes to a hard decision, whatever is it. So just 2 questions. Number 1, imagine your 2.0 version. How would you want to be, right? Your 2.0 version, financially, emotionally, mentally. And then ask yourself, like, what kind of decision would this 2.0 version take? If this is the decision that you're not taking right now, you're screwed. Okay, you just gotta take better decisions every single day, because life is all about decisions, all about hunger, and nothing else.
That's true, bro. I think that's very, very powerful, and that's an incredible way to wrap it up. If people are operating as a 1.0 version of themselves and they expect to become the 2.0 version of themselves, they're never going to do it. You know what I mean? So, Vadym, thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro. Looking forward to continuing working with you, hosting you at the Dubai Mastermind. Let's fucking crush it. And if you guys are watching this and you guys are looking forward to scaling your business, link in the description, booking a one-on-one audit call with myself. I'd love to help you scale and grow your business and hopefully challenge you to make 30K in 30 days or shave your head bald. All right? So anyways, with that being said, see you guys in the next video.